What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action sporting in the bottom of the map in the sky blue color. I'm going to start calling it sky blue. His name is Loki, and he is playing Loki. He's from the GDM clan, Gladiators, Del Mythology. In the most Australian accent as I could possibly do. His partners today in the green color, playing as Odin. His name is Sparks. And rounding out the team in the Uranus color, playing as red. I said that in the wrong way. His name is Zokyo. And their opponents today, a very terrifying team to be sure, in the blue color, playing as Uranus. His name is Gold Lion. He's from the team Fade 2 F2. And the partners today in the yellow color, playing as Zeus. His name is Player. And rounding out the team in the purple color, playing as Loki. His name is Squash. This is the A team for F2. I would say this is, if they really want to win, I would say this is a team they're going to be going for. Incredibly scary. I don't want to play against these guys. That's not gonna. I'm not gonna. No one's gonna have fun. This is a terrifying team composition as well that this F2 have made. The problem is that they've been a little bit unlucky. They would have been happy with Uranus in the pocket. They would have been happy with Loki in the pocket, but they get Player in the pocket with his Zeus. Player would have preferred, I would assume, Player would have preferred to be on the flank with Zeus to allow him to do that Zeus hoplite strategy that we saw the other game from UCA Owls. But he's in the pocket, so what does that mean? Well, he can go for a big boom and try and hit a kind of blitzkrieg style Heliopolis push with the Zeus, making a couple of centaurs to run around the map and be annoying. He could try and go for Hippocon here and roleplay a little bit like Zeus with roleplay a little bit like Poseidon, but go through Athena. And that's kind of his options here. I don't think you can really go hoplites while being in the pocket, though maybe he's going to be showing me something different here. So we'll see how things are going to go. If we talk a little bit about what Azokyo's GDM team here, Sparks' GDM team's constructed here, we've got Loki, Odin, Uranus. And again, this is going to be the team comp to beat. This is one of the strongest, very, very simple team comp to play. We've talked about it already. I would say that this is quite possibly the most S-tier composition you could make in this tournament. Though there are some other S-tier compositions. Maybe this is S+, and the other are S, but maybe I'm wrong about that as well. I'm a noob. I don't know team games to save my life, but if I would guess, I would say this is scary. This is not going to be an easy game to win for F2 at all, given their current situation. Now, if you flip the Player onto the flank, then I go, well, maybe, just maybe here, this will be a little bit different, especially if you had the Loki matched up with the Zeus. But alas, we don't see that. We see what we see, and we do have now the Forsettis starting to come through for Loki and Squash. Now, we do get the Loki matchup. Now, normally, I would say if this was a 1v1, this is a bit of a coin flip matchup. There's not a whole lot you can do to find an advantage in the Loki versus Loki mirror. If you just have good macro, then and half decent micro, oftentimes the winner, it comes down to the Einherjar spawns in the big fights. But we'll see how it's all going to go here. This is Squash after all, as he is picking up this relic over here. The Harmonious Necklace can be gathering gold faster. So we'll see how it's all going to go. But if we take a next step here, on an open map like Fields of Punishment, decision-making for the Loki player starts becoming a much bigger thing. It's no longer about just butting heads with the Loki player. It's about doubling your opponents and just getting around and doing all of the good stuff. So, moving onwards and upwards here, we do see homies coming through for Player, and he is going for town centers. So, perfectly fine and reasonable. This makes a lot of sense in the pocket. It's slow, and the GDM team is just going to have to find a way to punish the really, really weak early game of the Loki here. If I was Sparks, I would be saying, look, we got to attack the Loki, attack the Loki, attack the Loki. The Uranos here just needs to go against the Uranos and just try and go even or win. Even at the very worst, and hope for some help, but winning would obviously be good. And then the Loki needs to be the one who is feeling the pressure. We'll see what is actually going to be happening here for Sparks as he's dropping his longhouses here. I think this is a mistake. I don't think you drop longhouses in your base. In this situation, if you've spotted... Wait, did they spot that the composition? Kind of here, kind of. They don't... Actually, yeah, they do. They see the Zeus is in the back. So yeah, they should have moved over and built and doubled onto the Loki here, I would assume, as we do see a Spy getting dropped down by Squash. Squash so smart. Obviously spy the Herser, and so too do we see Loki spying the Herser here, as Squash going to be retreating away. He's got himself 6 Herser at this point versus the 4 of Loki. Or Loki, I don't actually know. We've got more coming through here. Not going to be a problem, as all of the other good stuff is going on. Squash going to be searching around, maybe going to be looking for a double onto Sparks. I didn't talk about this because the map is Fields of Punishment, by the way. This is a special map. We don't see this one very often. It has some cool stuff. Anyways, back to the game. Though, like maybe the color palette is a little bit displeasing, but on the eye, but it is what it is. As now Squash returning back over here, going to start bashing away at these units. Hall of Thanes is coming through for both of these players. It's going to be slightly in front for Squash, but we do see the Raiding Cavalry coming, going to be hitting these Herser just a little bit here, getting a little bit out of position. Squash moving just a little bit too early here, I would say, but look at this. Player is just enjoying his time here. Is he got any military buildings down? He's got himself a Herser. He's got himself 1 military academy. And this is looking to be going to be just like mass hoplites off of 2 town centers by player here. We'll see if it's going to work out for him, as he does need to come over and help his partner as Loki. Going to be moving in. We do see a forest fire over here from Sparks, as the villagers are very much open on this position, as Loki coming through. He's got 4 Herser over here to take this one out. We do see the Odysseus coming in here for player. That's going to be a big help here. The villagers turning around, going to start chanking. Villagers very strong here. No myth unit spawns, unfortunately, just yet for Loki, as his Herser going to come over here and try and take out the Odysseus. We do see Squash's Troll coming through, going to take out that, or attempt to take out that Raiding Cavalry here, as Loki pulls back his Herser, but too little too late, does get taken down. As everything finishing up over here, we do see Gold Lion pushing in, pushing back. Zokyo and Gold Lion very, very equal at this point here, as we do see the Iron Here through for Loki, though. That could be huge. Does blow that horn. Doesn't manage to kill any units here. But unfortunately, just a little bit too late on the Iron Here spawn. Not going to be able to pick off any of those villagers here, as Squash just pulls away from those boar for just a little bit. Going to decide, yep, let's just move home here, as the Raiding Cavalry coming through. But Squash is now back with his Herser, going to start going for the fight over here, preventing the Raiding Cavalry from getting in and taking anything down there. Nice micro from Squash. Nice try from Sparks, but he doesn't get in there. Meanwhile, over here, we do see the clash coming through. A very, very scary fight here to take. Every single time Uranus fights in the early game, it's scary because it's so swingy. If you lose the fight, it's just game over. We do see one Terma getting taken down, but one Mermillo was taken down. So that's actually win there for Zokyo there, I would say, in terms of overall stuff. As now the Raiding Cavalry, they could spot these dwarves over here. There's only 900 gold left in that gold mine. Look at that. Squash has only got 6 villagers on gold because if he's got that upgrade, Harmonia's necklaces. Normally you see like 9 villagers on gold or 10, but Squash is just like, yeah, 6 is enough because of Harmonia's necklace. He's probably right. Maybe you could go with 8, but he's fine. The 12's getting pulled off over here, as Loki trying to get a little bit of damage done, but not able to do so just yet. The Raiding Cavalry swinging around the base, but look at this. Player is now here. He's got a handful of units. It's not a whole lot, but playing defensive, playing on the defense is a little bit easier than playing on the offense. You don't need as many units, really, because you've got the town center to help. And players on 2 town centers, so his economy is skyrocketing now. So GDM need to think about how they're going to start going after a big attack onto player here, as we do see the Sparks raiding cavalry, just 5 of them coming around onto Gold Lion's army here. This is going to force him back just a little bit and gives Zokyo just a slight advantage now in this fight, forcing Gold Lion out of here. Nice play here from Sparks, getting active on the map, leaving with the raiding cavalry. He does now have Thundering Hooves, so he's very, very fast. Meanwhile, we see the Hearser still coming through. Nice walls from Squash. They're going to be preventing any sort of raids around that way. We've got more walls coming up here as player is throwing them all up, making things very, very difficult for the hyper mobility composition that GDM has constructed here to function. Just a few walls is all you need, as now we see the raiding cavalry coming in. And if you take a quick look at where all the villagers are, it's all back. It's all back here, ladies and gentlemen. As the Hearser swinging around, looking for something to do here. The Hoplites over here trying to defend this one, but this is some out of position villagers. Going to be at least one villager kill here. Nice play from Sparks, but the Hoplites coming in now. Remember, these are 4.7 speed, and while there's 6.6 speed rating cavalry, at least the Hoplites can react and chase and defend, as these walls still trying to come up and finish up over in this position. There is a bear there to be careful of, as raiding cavalry coming through over here, as Zokyo searching for something to raid over on this position, but Gold Lion's economy very, very safe. He's got a whole bunch of berries in his base, as well as the herdables under his town center to eat, so he should be fine. But look at this, villagers out of position. One low HP villager here. Surely Zokyo spends the time here, takes this one out. He will be going after it. That's going to be one citizen kill here, and then he can just leave. Beautiful play there from Zokyo. As now we're starting to see the Hearser coming in onto this position here for Squash, and we've talked about this once. Bit of a coin flip here. Neither player have got, actually, Loki does have his armor upgrades here, but he just doesn't get the, he doesn't get the Iron House spawn, so it doesn't even matter that he's got himself copper mail. He just gets completely cleaned up because one Iron Yark comes in and completely wins this fight. No, hang on. I got that all confused. Squash gets absolutely cleaned here. Squash gets cleaned. Huh? What? How am I that dumb? Squash gets clean. Squash on the defense, and now Loki has the advantage. We'll see how this is all going to go through here as Gold Lion moving forward. Zokyo here in a good position. Loki in a good position. Sparks has his second town center, dropping farms down now. The walls are currently up, and I would say this is the best position any team has been in recently from any of the team games we've seen from F2 in the kind of scrimmages that they've had. This is a really, really good spot to be in for GDM here. We'll see if they're going to make anything happen. We've got the raiding cavalry coming through, not able to pick off any citizen here, but causing a whole bunch of idle citizen, five idle citizen there for Gold Lion with that raid. No dead raiding cavalry. Nice play. We see a town center coming up for Gold Lion over here as well. As the mana on this position getting taken down, we see the Promethean coming through here to take this one out. Big shockwave coming in over here from Team GDM and F2 to help fight this one off, as we do see the Hoplites coming through. Medium infantry is in. Bragi coming through for both Squash and Loki here, as the army moving in onto this position. Where is Squash's Hearser? He's only got himself 9 Hearser here. It's really not that many, and Bragi about to hit here. This could be absolutely huge, and the town center gets denied over here as a mana is attempting to get built as fast as it possibly can. Get the raiding cavalry to take that mana down would be a really, really good idea. The Hoplites coming through here to take this one out. Not going to be able to kill off the villagers just yet, as Frost does get cast onto this huge army here. Huge Frost from GDM there, as the raiding cavalry unfortunately have to pull back as the Hoplites are here. The town center will come up, but guess what? Sparks can now come back, clean up this army if he so chooses. He can do whatever he wants with those raiding cavalry, but that will be really, really big. Now Sparks is on 3 town centers. Loki is ready to put the pressure on to Squash, as Squash is leaving his base right now, as we see the Hearser moving away. Just attack. You don't have to fight out in the open. Just go into his base and kill him off here. This is purely distraction from Squash, and Squash knows it, and he is winning in the mind games right now. Squash is leaving his base. You don't need to chase this. Just go straight after the jugular, cast flaming weapons, kill the temple, kill the town center, force Squash back, and now we see the raiding cavalry coming over here, taking out these units. The Oranos units getting absolutely surrounded here, as Gold Lion is in a big world of trouble, but the Hoplites coming through for player. We do have to remember that player has been 2 town centers since like 5 minutes in this game. He is absolutely huge in the economy, and he is going to be able to carry through F2 in this game, most probably here. as the raiding cavalry have to retreat back. The Hersa getting chased around here. 15 Hersa here to 10 Hersa here as Squash is going to be looking for the raids here. Town Center coming down for Loki in this position over here. The temple has been taken down. The Valkyries and the Battle Ball helping out. There is a Hersa here that's doing way too much damage. Meanwhile, on this position, villagers getting taken down, but the armies over here looks like they're continuing to take this fight as the Manticore coming in. Player does get his access to his underworld here. We'll see exactly what he wants to try and do in this game as the Frost Giant coming through by Sparks. You're going to be trying to take down the Manticore as it's going to be retreating away. Meanwhile, these Hersa for Squash going to be dealing with the Loki Hersa of Loki, and Squash has flipped this matchup on its head. Loki had every opportunity here to push in and kill Squash's base here, but Squash just moves in, taking out villagers all over the place, and he hasn't taken any damage to his economy. These villagers over here for Loki getting dealt with as well. Beautifully nice play here from Squash. Gets a Valkyrie spawn here to help out as well. More Hersa coming through for Loki, but there's hardly any units over here. He's just getting absolutely outplayed at this point. A troll spawn as well here for Squash as the Hersa have to pull back. Loki in a terrible position. He does have 2 town centers though, as Squash somehow manages to flip the script here. Heavy Hoplites comes through for player in on this position as Zokyo going to be taking down these units here. Stymphalian Bird flying overhead, doing what it needs to do here as the Hoplites pulling back, and they're not able to quite take this fight just yet. We do need to see, there's the throwing axe. We need to see some forward buildings coming down for Sparks. You don't really need the hill fort because there's no real archers here just yet. They are starting to come in, but you definitely need to start thinking about those throwing axemen here as Loki is going to be shaking his head in a winning position and at a point here now, and he goes from being in a winning position to be almost bottom score, if not bottom score in this game. Where else can he be getting gold from? He can go into this gold mine over here. He can get this hunt here. He can try and catch back up. But guess what? Squashes 2 town centers now. He kills off the ox cart. The villagers retreat back. Hersa coming through here. Absolutely crazy play here from Squash as GDM pulling back here, a little bit out of position, but Sparks is in now. Sparks is still absolutely gigantic here. He's making himself Ulfsark. He's got himself the Raiders. He's trying to catch up, catch the armies out here, but these hoplites are so good in these types of fights when you don't really have the answers to them. You do have some archers coming in for Zokyo, so those are going to be a big help, but look at this. Flying overhead, 3 Stymphalian Birds. We see Tia coming through for Squash as well. Hephaestus coming through for player as the F2 veteran ship, just showing in all of its glory here in this game as while Sparks and Zokyo still trying to make something work over here. A little bit too slow. Would have liked to have seen maybe Sparks in the Mythic Age around about 15 minutes here, given he's not really been touched in this game. He's gone for a little bit of a different style. Earlier, Fimbulwinter could have been absolutely gigantic here, but not happening as the Hersa retreating, looking at this gold mine yet again. The Dwarves coming over here. They can jump onto this gold mine here and see what they can do, but the town center has been cleaned up by Squash. Squash is now pushing in. He's got tons of battle ball. He's got the Hersa coming in. Tia is on the way here for Squash. He's going to be able to flaming weapons. Fimbulwinter, we see Hecate coming through for Zokyo, but is it going to be too little too late? That is the big question here. It's Forge of Olympus coming through immediately for player as Fimbulwinter. But do you even cast flaming weapons here? Yes, you do. Fimbulwinter, flaming weapons coming in. Town center goes down. There's going to be another one fight here for Squash as Loki has been absolutely cleaned off the map here. And while GDM was in a wonderful position, just distraction from Squash was all he needed to put Loki out of his comfort zone. Sparks taps out. Loki taps out. Zokyo's like, but guys, I'm going Mythic Age. And he has to tap out. F2, too strong, too smart, too knowledgeable of the weaknesses. Loki could have just walked straight into this base, cleaned the temple up. He had Battle Ball, he had Hersa, he had everything he needs to clean buildings. And he could have just retreated all his villagers back into his town center and said, look, I don't even care. Kill my base. I'm going to kill your base. I'm in front. I'm going to kill all your villagers, and it's going to be it's going to be completely fine here for him to retreat back and then deal with the Hursa that Squash had in his base after everything was dealt with. But he just doesn't go for it. And Squash just somehow converts in a completely dead loss position, in my opinion here. Like Sparks and Zokyo were basically winning on the top side of the map as well. This game was GDM's game to win here, or to lose. I don't know what the saying is, but F2 get it. Somehow, some way, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.